Peekaboo.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the second part in my 3-part series of eating more like Ellen Fisher. She's a YouTuber off of the island of Maui, and she lives there with her family of 5. She has 3 kids and her husband, and they're all whole food, plant-based, low-fat, high-carb, vegan. Essentially, they live in a beautiful tropical place and eat intentionally and promote the well-being of animals. So we decided to do a one-day Ellen Fisher reset, and I did this all off of a free YouTube video and a few different YouTube videos actually. I did some time where I sat down and watched her YouTube channel. The kids even watched a few videos with me and I took notes. That's how detailed this was. But I also have her ebook, which is going to be part 3 of this series, talking a little bit about the ebook and how we've used it as a family and my takeaways from it. We went plant-based about 4 years ago, where we decided we didn't want to eat meat and dairy anymore. We still incorporate honey into our diet, so we're not vegan. And we also eat salmon here and there. So during this reset, you can see part 1 where I grocery shop. And I made a couple swaps here. Now she has canned or jarred tomatoes. For one of the things was that she had jarred tomatoes instead of canned tomatoes. I'm not exactly sure why she had this in her pantry video or in her fridge video, but I assume it has something to do with the BPA lining of cans. Could be wrong. I didn't swap that. I still used a can because it was $1 more. But what I did do was make a couple other easy swaps. For one, we were using tamari, which is a gluten-free soy sauce, and I don't really have any issue with soy. My assumption is that her family does not eat very much soy. Beyond the soy component within tamari, when I did some comparison, tamari, something like 5 times the amount of sodium per serving as coconut aminos, which is what I made the swap for, was coconut aminos. She has it in her fridge showing, and some of the other recipes she makes, she uses coconut aminos within her free YouTube videos if you want to check them out. So I made that first swap, and then sriracha was another thing she mentioned in her video. She uses one that has a little bit better ingredients than the traditional brand of sriracha you'll get at most grocery stores. So here's what our day looked like. I worked on getting the appropriate amount of calories for our kids and Shane in, especially in the morning. You watch Ellen Fisher's videos and they're shoving bananas into their Vitamix blender. And I don't feel like it's just our family. I feel like when you see smoothies on Instagram or when people share it, it's this relatively small smoothie. And for an adult, a banana has, what, 100 calories in it? And Shane, his caloric requirements are something around 3,000 calories. Here's a morning update. I don't have any barley grass juice powder or spirulina. I don't have enough ripe bananas either. I wasn't hungry. And so I had my lemon water, coffee, and I know Ellen Fisher wouldn't have coffee, but I need it to function. We also ate big salads for lunch. Shane and I both, he has started to work from home more, and I made a huge salad with a variety of fruits and vegetables in it, and this was from one of her videos, again, that I'll include in the description below if you want to do the same thing. Adding in dulse, which I've used before, medical medium suggests it, so I've put it into our diet before. Shane does not like dulse, I like dulse, but adding in little things like that, more variety to get in those micronutrients. Another thing we did was try and be more intentional with what we're feeding the children. I have been, for the last year or so, they eat plenty of fruits and vegetables during the day. They eat fruit and vegetable with every meal, and for snacks, my goal has always been at home to make sure we have lots of fruit, and that seems to help. One of the things that I don't do is salads, where she suggests that you chop up the salads into small pieces and then mash avocado to create this really creamy texture. If you watch your kids eat it on the video, they're using a spoon, and so I tried to do that for my children. What do you think about this lunch? It was good? What do you think about your salad?
I would say yes, just to say nice, so it's yes.
And then the last thing we did was try and make the things that you eat on the everyday, the more conventional recipes like spaghetti, have less preservatives, more whole foods, more made from home, and just a little bit more intentional ingredients. Wyatt is napping. He's been napping since like, I don't know, for a couple of hours now, and I think he had a stomach bug a couple of days ago. So I think his body's repairing itself right now, because it's very unlike him to just fall asleep during quiet time. Kelly's over at the neighbor's house. They invited him over for tater tots. So I'm making dinner. I'm going to, instead of sauteing water, I'm gonna bake the broccoli, because I know my kids really like it when it's baked and they eat it easily. And I'm also gonna bake the red pepper. I am omitting onions because I just don't eat onions. Oh, I soaked the cashews too, because I use a bullet blender that was from 5 years ago. So gotta soak those guys. I made the sauce. You have to tell me what you think, if the kids will like it or not. I think it looks good, and it tastes really good. Now this day turned into a week, because with the groceries I got, I made sure that it took us a little bit longer, and we brought in more salads during the week. I abandoned the salad avocado mashup and tried to play around with how it was that I was going to present things to the kids. Another thing that I kept in was the smoothies in the morning. Kelly and Shane both really prefer that. So here's my big takeaway. We ate like Ellen Fisher for a day, extended it through the week with little pieces, but of course the kids still ate donuts when they went skateboarding. They had snacks at Grammy's house. I mean, we still let in some junk food here and there. But my biggest takeaway was that we survived. I mean, we ate like that for a day, and the kids didn't go hungry. They still ate everything, and you know, we didn't wither away. Now, long term, I definitely have some things that I would change. And one of the things I like most about Ellen Fisher is within her videos, she says there's so many different ways to be vegan. So she's showing you the example of what her family does in a tropical paradise. And if you look on YouTube, there's thousands of other channels that share with you cheap vegan, fast vegan, paleo vegan, keto vegan. There's just so many different ways. So my takeaway from this was that overall, just being much more intentional with what we're putting in our body, especially while I'm in a healing period, my kids are in a growing period, and Shane is really trying to hone his athletic abilities in. Another thing that I noticed that, especially in studying Ellen Fisher and looking at percentages, entering things in, I think you call it chronometer.com, entering what it is exactly in that I was eating, I realized that I eat a lot of fat. And that's without eating meat, with reducing the amount of oils I use. It's crazy how quickly fats can pop in. I ate too much fat. And also I eat too much sodium. The World Health Organization had a study out that said something like a teaspoon of salt is what an adult needs per day, or the maximum amount that they should have during the day. And between tamari, adding in salt while I'm cooking, salt on top to flavor it, salt in potato chips, salt in popcorn, I was eating a lot of salt. So I'm always trying, I'm in a period where I'm trying to lose weight, and I noticed that my face sometimes will get very puffy. Well, I eat too much salt. And then finally, we watched Moana during this time, and they have a song where you shouldn't leave the island because the island provides what you need. Coconuts is all you need. And it's funny because I really did enjoy the coconut aminos, and it's fun to just see not only just the coconut aminos or coconuts, but you don't need all these fancy things. It's quite okay to simplify your diet and still be healthy. Not just healthy, but also satisfied. So that was our time eating like Ellen Fisher. I really enjoyed it, and I love watching her YouTube videos. She's so positive. Watch my next video on her ebooks, because I think you would really like her ebooks. Subscribe to our channel to continue watching this journey of eating better, reducing our waste,